Thought number 2. Don't be afraid of letting go. Letting go can be one of the hardest things because often we want to cling on to the things that we're familiar with, what we know. Because, we look around and we see what's in our external reality and we think that that is all that there is for us, that's all there is out there. But unless you let go of what is, you can't open up space for what could be. And what could be is unlimited. There are no limitations. There's so many possibilities. And you shape that. You shape that with what you think, what you give your thoughts to. And all of your thoughts have energy behind them. Thought is energy. So what are you giving your energy to? What are you giving your life to? Recognizing what energies are the most predominant in my life. And that sometimes can be a very overwhelming thought, because you might look at your life and say, well, shit, my job isn't what I want it to be, my relationship isn't what I want it to be. It's so easy to get pulled into those kinds of thought patterns. But it's those very thought patterns that are keeping alive what is and all these things that you don't want. It's such an easy trap, and it's catching yourself in the middle of one of those thought patterns and deciding, wait, where's my energy going? Okay, where do I want it to go? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want? What do I want in my life? Well, everybody wants to be feeling good. Everyone wants good things in their life. So, the sooner we realize our responsibility to that, to choose in every moment to give our energy to what we do want. And it takes awareness, it takes conscious effort. Because a lot of times, those limiting patterns, thought patterns, belief patterns that are just recycling through us, a lot of times that's what's easy. That's the easy route to stay stuck in those karmic loops. It's easier to stay stuck in the matrix. But I think people are realizing that it's getting harder and harder because we're starting to feel the discomfort of the separation that brings in our lives. And sometimes it's hard to identify, that that's what's happening. Sometimes you're just like, I'm just feeling all of this discomfort and I don't know where it's coming from, and it's so overwhelming that, you can't think. And I think it's moments like that are calling you to move down into your heart, your heart space, because discomfort only comes from separation, of being out of alignment. There's a dissonance. What is that dissonance? Is it a belief that I'm holding about myself and my life and how its potential, how it's supposed to look, or how it looks now? Or is it just thought patterns that you're used to? If you don't start becoming aware of those patterns, you turn into your parents. You turn into just kind of like a programmed robot. And a lot of times, to escape the discomfort of that disconnection, we resort to numbing ourselves, distracting ourselves. There's so many things out there today they're just distractions, temporary fulfillment, monetary gain, and no long-term reward. Getting to a point where we have to make a decision. What do I want in my life? What do I want to give my energy to? Do I want to give my energy to something that's immortal? Your soul? If that's what the Bible was talking about, that's what Jesus was talking about when he said, lay up treasures in heaven where moth and dust does not corrupt. Metaphors. These are all metaphors about raising our consciousness, about accessing higher levels within ourselves, you know? And not getting distracted and sidetracked trying to build fucking sand castles, you know? Maybe in your lifetime it's like, oh, well, you know, I'll have, you know, all of these possessions. Maybe in this one life, what is that worse? It's not going to carry over. Is your identity purely all of these material possessions that you have? Is your self-worth wrapped up in how big of a house you have? How many pairs of shoes you have? Whether you never have to wear the same outfit twice? Throughout the week, month, I don't know. There's all these things that we think are important. We get wrapped up in them. We get so caught up in them that we think that that's who we are. When who we are is so much bigger than that. Who we are goes beyond time and space.